Hello, I'm Roger Sheley, rangeland weed ecologist with the Agricultural Research Service and the Eastern Oregon Agricultural Research Center, and I'm here to present an Eastern Oregon Ag Minute. You know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and getting your weeds under control early may save your ranch. We're losing more than 4,600 acres of good grassland per day to noxious weeds, and once you get them, they outcompete almost all your forage. We're studying new methods of managing these weeds, and I'll be talking about these strategies this week. But most importantly, the thing that you can do is to keep from getting the weeds in the first place. Know what weeds look like, keep your hay free of weeds, don't move animals from infested to non-infested areas without resting them in a common location, and clean your equipment. It's important to think about how the weeds are getting on your place and stop them from doing that before they take it over. Actually, an ounce of prevention is worth gallons of herbicide and barrels of money. Many of us appreciate satellites because we can get the baseball games on TV, or we can mark our favorite fishing spots using the GPS. We're trying to use satellites and spy plane imagery to map weeds and detect new small infestations before they become major problems. Accurate maps are critical to weed management, and we are able to map relatively accurately using special multispectral imagery. It's hard to find small patches using these techniques, but we've been testing the potential to use drug dogs to find small patches of weeds. It's working, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. You know how when the police come to your house and they have that dog with them? Turns out they're using the dog to find marijuana. Dogs can smell distinct odors about 10,000 times better than humans. Since finding small patches of weeds on rangelands is critical to stopping their spread, and rangelands are so expansive, we decided to see if dogs could help in weed detection. It works. Now we strap a GPS collar to detector dogs, work them in a large area, and download the data. Where the dog spends most of its time, you can find weeds. Now all we need to do is put a little herbicide in the dog's drinking water and teach the dog where to do its business. With all the mosquitoes attacking you, it's hard to imagine any value of insects. But while these mosquitoes are attacking you, other insects are attacking noxious weeds. For decades, the ARS has been working with other scientists in other countries to find natural enemies of invasive weeds, test them for safety, and then bring them to the U.S. for release on weeds. We've found that biocontrols are not the silver bullet, but they are another tool in the arsenal in the fight against noxious weeds. I have suggested that we trade our mosquitoes for these biocontrol insects, but it seems that most countries have plenty of their own nasty bugs. For many ranchers, nothing makes you reach for your 270 faster than the sight of a sheep or goats. But before you pull the trigger, I've got some good news. Sheep and goats like to eat weeds, and we're finding management strategies to use them to help you make money. These animals love to eat weeds. Our studies show that cattle, sheep, and goats like perennial pepperweed pretty well, even when the stalking rates are relatively low. Given the pace at which weeds are spreading, I'll bet that if you're going to be in the livestock business,